All right, now we're going to go over maintenance on the HM1 DTG kiosk. First of all, in order to do the maintenance we need to do as far as cleaning under the capping station and cleaning the encoder strip in the back, we need to be able to move the printhead. The printhead is actually locked into place when the printer is sitting idle. So in order to unlock that printhead, over on the side of the printer here we have a little rubber cover that we need to remove. And then we need to take an ordinary flathead screwdriver and insert it into the hole. Turn it until you find the groove. Once we get it there, you're going to want to actually place your hand on the printhead so you can feel once it's come unlocked. Turn the screwdriver clockwise to get it to unlock and gently pull on the printhead until you feel it free. Now that we have that free, we can actually gain access to important points that we need to get to in order to maintain and clean the printer. The first thing we need to talk about here in maintenance is our capping station. This rectangular pad around here is the capping station. It has a rubber seal around the edges. When the printhead comes over and docks, this is what seals itself to the printhead and actually draws and pumps ink through there. Now, ink will build up on these pads over time, and the more that the ink builds up, the harder it is for it to pump and draw ink or fluid through there. So we need to put some cleaning solution on this pad. And we'll do that by using the syringe that came with your machine. You want to fill the syringe with some cleaning solution. Put a few drops on that pad there, get a little pool going. And then take the flathead screwdriver and put it back in the hole that we used to unlock the printhead. And we're going to want to turn that clockwise. That'll turn the pump and actually draw solution through those pads, helping to clean up that residue that builds up in the pores of those pads. Another thing we need to address on the capping station is these rubber rim or gasket, so to speak, and we need to keep those clean and free of ink. If ink builds up on them, they'll actually have clumps that will create little air leaks when it's trying to draw stuff through, so we need to keep those free and clean of ink. We can do that with a little paper cloth, or you can even use a swab to get in there better. You want to just wipe any ink that's on there off and free so it's just rubber. Alright, and another thing we need to clean while we're down here in this area is the wiper. Now the wiper actually rotates out of the way, so we need to use the flathead screwdriver again, and we may need to turn it counterclockwise this time to get the wiper to rotate up into a position where we can clean it. Here we have the wiper. Just like the wiper, a windshield wiper on a car, that wipes ink off the face of the printhead. We can use a swab or a cloth and just wipe excess ink off of this wiper. Alright, now that we have that clean, we want to move on to the encoder strip. The encoder strip is this clear strip back behind the printhead carriage. This strip runs along the whole path of the printhead. This clear strip is a data strip that the printhead carriage reads as it moves back and forth. It basically tells the printhead where it is. It's a reference point. Now that will build up some ink residue over time because of the misting that occurs inside here. So we need to take a damp cloth and we need to pinch it gently and just kind of run along the strip. Go till we come to the printhead there, and then we'll need to move the printhead out of the way so that we can get to the other side and then continue across. Now the HM1 has put a fan in here, and there's a vent on the other side to help draw air through here so that it's less likely to build up ink on this encoder strip, but it's still a good idea to go through and make sure it's clean. It'll help avoid any computer errors or printer errors in the future. Another thing we want to make sure that it's clean. This might be more of an inspection, but it could get messy over time, is this belt drive here. This is the drive that, the belt drive that moves the printhead carriage back and forth. It's got teeth on the inside that go around this gear over here. If that does develop a buildup of residue over time, the residue can get down into the teeth of the gear and it can cause the belt to skip, which of course will either give us errors or cause poor quality in our printing. It could cause the carriage to skip, and that'll translate into lines or really weird types of printing patterns. Another thing we need to monitor and sometimes clean up is this little waste spit area over here. There's a pad down in here to absorb the ink that the printhead has to actually come over here and spit into. This could sometimes get liquid in here that we might even need to draw out with our syringe to get the excess liquid out. We can remove these pads and put fresh pads in if we need to. Like I said, it's simply just an area for the printer to drop some ink into. Now finally, when we're done with cleaning up everything in here, we need to put the printhead back into its seated position. Now, in order to do this, we still need to go ahead and get the screwdriver back into place. With all the turning we've done, we may have gotten things out of alignment. The printhead won't come back into place if something's blocking its way. So we'll put the flathead back into the slot and we'll turn it. We definitely want to see the wiper rotate out of the way. We want to see the capping station down, and then there's a little plastic post right here that needs to be down in order for the printhead to move over into place. Now once the printhead's in place, we want to rotate this clockwise about maybe 5, 6, 7 turns. Now the printhead's back in and locked. If we do not return this printhead manually, if we turn the printer off and turn it back on, the printhead is going to try to come back into place. And if there's that little plastic locking post in the way, then that will jam up under the printer and we'll hear a buzzing noise. If that were to happen, you may want to hit your emergency stop switch, correct the problem, get the printhead back into place, and then power the printer back on. And finally here we want to clean around the edges of the printhead. Because the wiper blade wipes the face of the printhead, it tends to put excess ink around the edges of the printhead. So if we look in the reflection of the bed itself, we can see the printhead. We can see that this here is the face of the printhead, and what we need to clean is around these edges. So we can just take a cloth, a soft cloth, a soft paper towel, and just clean the front edge, the side edges, and that back edge, and we'll get that excessive ink off of there that dries up and forms clumps that could fall off onto the t-shirts.